All right, so OpenClaw just shipped 5 stable releases in 6 days. So if this is your first time hearing about this, a stable release just means like that it's finished. A tested version of the software that's ready for everyone to use is already done. It's not experimental, not a work in progress. It's done, tested, and shipped. So that's why I read every changelog so you don't have to, right? So here's what actually matters and what you need to do about it. Most of this will get zero coverage because people don't know how to read a changelog, but we're going to fix that right now. So let's dive into the video. So there's been 5 finished tested releases in 6 days with over 200 contributors, meaning 200 individual people from the public who wrote code that actually got accepted into the project. So it's not just a startup moving fast, right? It's a platform operating at a scale of major open source infrastructure. So what's interesting about this week specifically is that the releases didn't just add features, they removed objections, right? By the end of this video, I'll show you that every major reason someone gives for not running AI agent got addressed in 1 week. So let's dive into the memory overhaul here. What changed? So AI agents have what we call a context window, right? Think of it as the AI's working memory, how much information it can hold and read at a time. It has a hard limit like a whiteboard with a fixed amount of space. So when that whiteboard fills up, the agent has to then erase older information to make room for new information, right? That erasing process is called compaction. And the problem with compaction is that it's lossy, right? Important things get thrown away. The longer a session runs, the dumber the agent gets because it literally can't remember how the conversation started. So if you've been using Claude, OpenClaw, or even ChatGPT for a long time, there has been a study shown that, after a million messages and, back and forths with the AI, it actually gets dumber. Until OpenClaw 3.7, that compaction process was locked inside OpenClaw's core code, right? You couldn't change it without hacking the software itself. What 3.7 did was rip it out and turn it into what's called a plugin slot. Think of it like a power socket. The socket doesn't care what you plug into it. Any developer can now build their own memory system and drop it in. Those specific moments where external code is allowed to run, let's say startup, after each message before handing off to another agent, those are called lifecycle hooks. Bootstrap is when the agent starts up. After turn is after every message exchange. They're checkpoints in the process where you can now inject your own logic. The first plugin built on this is called lossless claw. Lossless means nothing gets erased, so your agent's memory becomes permanent. Every briefing, every task, every observation gets indexed and stays searchable forever. Practically, your morning briefing agent can now look back 3 weeks, and let's say maybe you're running some campaigns, your campaign monitor remembers every anomaly it ever flagged. You stop re-explaining your own business context at the start of every new session. And if you're like me and you're running a business on OpenClaw, I had to literally explain my entire Facebook ads and meta ads structure because the session ran too long. So that's a great fix here. So the bigger move here isn't just a memory fix, right? Opening this to third world party developers means the platform gets smarter without the core team doing all the work. WordPress did this with plugins. Shopify did this with their app store. The ecosystem compounds. Core team becomes the foundation and not the ceiling. So 3.8 added something basic that should have existed a long time ago. It's a built-in backup system, right? One command, OpenClaw backup create, snapshots your entire agent state, your configuration, your workspace, your memory, all of it. Another command, OpenClaw backup verify, checks the backup is actually intact so you're not discovering it's broken the day you need it. So if you're running 24/7 automations and the drive on your Mac Mini fails, or you break your configuration and can't recover it, before 3.8, you were starting from scratch, and now you restore from a snapshot. Also, forgot to mention in 3.8 that you can now configure how long the voice agent waits in silence before it ends. So if you haven't watched my voice agent video, I gave OpenClaw my phone number. I'll link it somewhere above here. It's somewhere in the video. So this matters for AI phone call workflows. Services like Synflow or 11 Labs, where natural conversation timing is a difference between the call feeling human and the call feeling robotic, is a huge difference. Right? Now let's go down to the security portion of the video, because in every single one of these OpenClaw videos, I go through a security section, right? So 3.11 patched a real security vulnerability, and let me explain it properly. When OpenClaw runs on your computer, it opens a local server called a gateway. That's the always on background service that connects your agent to your messaging apps, your tools, and the internet. That gateway communicates using something called WebSocket. I mean, normal web request is like sending a text, fire, and done. A WebSocket is kind of like a phone call. The connection stays open so both sides can talk in real time. So the vulnerability here is that a malicious website open in the background tab could initiate one of those WebSocket connections to your local gateway. And when it connected, it could claim what's called operator admin access. Think of that as like the master key, full control. It could read your agent's memory, change its instructions, triggers, and automations, access any connected account. And this worked even with extra security settings turned on. So now it's fixed in 3.11. And this is the official public record ID is now patched. If you want to look it up, GHSA is pretty much a GitHub security advisory, which is just a public database where security researchers log vulnerabilities they find. And 3.11 also just added the ability for your agent to index images and audio into its searchable memory, so it's not just text. And it added proper guided setup for running local AI models using a tool called Ollama, which lets you run AI on your own hardware without paying per request to an API. So the full picture of the security aspect across the whole month is at 3.11, 3.12, and 3.13. Three of them are worth understanding in plain English here, right? So the WebSocket gateway hijack we just covered, the background tab, master key, access to your agent, it's all patched. Secondly, the invisible character spoofing in approval prompts. OpenClaw sometimes asks you to approve a command before your agent runs it, so it's pretty much like a safety check. This vulnerability used something called zero width characters, right? Unicode characters that take up no visible space on screen. You literally cannot see them. Attackers could embed that into an approval prompt so the text you read looks safe, but the actual command the system was approving was something entirely different. So that's 3.12 here. That's GHSA PCQG here. So that's patched on 3.12. Thirdly is the silent code execution from cloned repos, right? Before 3.12, if someone shared a GitHub repository with you, a template, a project, or a tool, and that repo contained an OpenClaw plugin, that plugin would run automatically the moment you opened that project. No warning, no prompt, no consent. Someone could distribute a repo with malicious code embedded and your agent would execute it. A plugin, by the way, is just a piece of add-on software that slots into an existing application. So auto-loading them without asking is now off by default, and you now have to explicitly approve a plugin before it runs. And 8 more patches covers things like permission escalation, browser profile manipulation, and command detection bypasses, all on the table on the screen right now. You can pause the video and take a read for yourself. So I think the right read on this is pretty much like vulnerabilities getting found and patched publicly is the system working, but the platforms that should scare you are the ones where nothing gets reported, right? Not because nothing's wrong, but because nobody's looking closely enough on it to find it. So here's what to do right now. Update to 3.13, run OpenClaw Doctor after. That's the built-in health check that scans your configuration for misconfigs, and only install community built skills from sources you actually know. So go ahead and run the update 3.13. Don't sit on old versions. I've said this time and time again, never run OpenClaw under your personal user account. Make sure you lock DM pairing to your number only and don't install unvetted community skills, and make sure you always run OpenClaw Doctor regularly. I'm pretty sure you're already doing this if you're using OpenClaw every single day. 3.12 is a dashboard, is the release that changes what OpenClaw looks like to someone walking in cold, right? Complete dashboard redesign, modular layout, command palette, mobile tabs. For the first time, this looks like a product you could demo to like a client without spending the first 5 minutes explaining what they're looking at. So there are 2 things in 3.12 beyond the UI. First, there's fast mode. Both OpenAI and Anthropic sell priority API access. API just means the connection your software uses to talk to the AI. Standard access puts you in line with everyone else, right? But priority access means your request jumps the queue. 3.12 adds a single toggle that activates this for both providers at once. If your automations run during peak hours and you've noticed delays, this is the switch that we're talking about. Secondly, as session yields, orchestrators hand off mid-task without losing state, and multi-agent workflows get a lot cleaner. If you're running what are called multi-agent workflows, setups where more than one AI agent is working on a task together, with one acting maybe as the coordinator, handing off work to others. Usually the lead agent is called the orchestrator, can now pause and hand off cleanly mid-task without losing what it was doing. Before this, those handoffs were kind of messy, right? Work got dropped. But this only applies if you're running multi-agent workflows. So again, let's talk a bit about stability here. So 3.13 adds Chrome DevTools MCP support, right? MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. It's just a standard that lets AI agents connect to external tools in a structured way. Chrome DevTools MCP specifically means your OpenClaw agent can now attach to your actual Chrome browser, the one you're already logged into and everything. So there are 3 modules here. The default OpenClaw profile runs a completely separate, isolated browser session that never touches your personal Google Chrome. The user profile attaches to your real browser and uses all your existing logins. The Chrome Relay profile lets you click an extension button on any tab to hand that tab into the agent on demand. So what this unlocks is any automation that requires being logged in somewhere, so your agent can now work inside your real authenticated session, not a fresh browser that has to log in again from scratch. This is your actual accounts and your actual sessions. 3.13 also fixed a dashboard crash on tool-heavy runs, right? So added time zone configuration for Docker deployments. Docker packages software into self-contained boxes so it runs the same way on any server, and patched 8 more security issues, including a device pairing replay attack and a shell injection and iMessage attachments. A stability release like this one isn't flashy, right? But a platform that ships stability releases is a platform being maintained. That matters more long-term than any individual feature. So what does 5 releases in 6 days actually mean? And what does this mean for us? With 200 plus people contributing code, real vulnerabilities being found, publicly documented and being patched, the iOS App Store prep, Android redesign, new languages. So this is not a product in maintenance mode. The release cadence here, like how frequently a finished tested version ship, is closer to major open source infrastructure than to a typical AI product launch cycle. What that means for us and you and me is that agent memory compounds, right? A 6-month-old agent isn't just 6 months better than a new one. It's categorically different. It has learned patterns from your actual business, your actual questions, your actual anomalies over time. So you cannot buy that history back. You can only start building it now. Every week you're not running an agent, someone in your market is extending their lead. Not a linear lead, but a compounding and an exponential lead. So there are 3 things if you're already running OpenClaw. Make sure you update to 3.13. The command is npm update -g OpenClaw at latest. npm is just a tool that you use to install and update OpenClaw, like an app store for developer software. And also make sure you install lossless claw and run OpenClaw backup, and make sure you run OpenClaw backup create today before you do anything else. So if you're not running OpenClaw just yet, the full setup guide is in the description down below in the free school community. So make sure you click on the link down below to join that, and that'll get you running faster than doing it alone. So if you enjoyed this video today, hope you had found some value. And if you did find some value, give this video a like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you click on the link down in the description below to join the free community where we can all talk about updates and new features and use cases together. So if you enjoyed this video today, thank you for watching till the end of this video, and I'll see you in the next video.